Hello and welcome to today's State of the Market. So today is Tuesday, 2nd August 2022, and it is 11:20 p.m. right now. So let's take a look at the state of the market, how the market has progressed today, and what we can expect in the coming session on tomorrow. Let me quickly share my screen. Okay, so here we are. Let's start with the US dollar. Okay, so if we look at the US dollar, this is where we were yesterday. All right, so at this trend line, and today essentially we opened with the gap down, and the price simply continued in the direction of the gap. Okay, so now we may classify it as a breakaway gap, and if that is the case, then this is just the beginning. Okay, uh, if we take a look at the USD INR on the spot currency pair 4-hour chart, okay, so here, there was no clear gap as such, but even if you look at it on the hourly chart, it was 9:30 and the price just started to fall. Okay, so there is no clear gap as such here, but the way, all these bulls, everybody who was fighting for this level essentially got hammered in the during the trading session, which is today. Okay, so this is basically what happened in the USD INR. Now the question is, what next? Frankly speaking, very hard to say. Okay, so here, even here, there's no clear trade of any kind whatsoever, right? At least on this time frame. If we look at the smaller time frame, we may be able to identify something. So this is the 15-minute, and the price is continuously essentially falling, and not even able to touch this 50 once. Okay, so now we can expect some kind of a pullback towards 50 tomorrow, and that will also be at 79 area, right? And then see what happens. Okay, so it's very unclear as to where the prices it may go tomorrow, and the kind of trade that we can take. All right, now this is theoretically some kind of a flag that is being formed. Okay, so we don't know. Let's see. It's very hard to say given where we are right now. Next, let's look at the JPY. So JPY, we were essentially looking at this kind of a broader picture trade. Okay, some kind of a breakout and then a bigger move towards the upside. In fact, this was the thesis for yesterday. So the thesis was that this is where the price closed, and the idea was the price opens, gives you some kind of retracement, and goes all the way towards this 60.67, which also happened to be the head and shoulders move. So this is the head and shoulders move. Okay, measured move target of 0.6. In fact, so what happened was that in the first hour itself, so from 3:30 to 7:30, and then 7:30 to 11:30, right? So this is where this whole head and shoulders move had already happened even before the market actually opened. Okay, and by the time it opened, it was a downward slide. All right, so whatever happened during the day, it was basically a continuation of the whole thing, and now it's anybody's guess. Okay, so this particular thesis essentially got invalidated, and there was no clear trade during the day. Okay, if there was a small breakout continuation, we could have aimed for this, but then by the time this happened, by the time the price opened, the whole head and shoulders movement already given in. So this sort of head and shoulders measured move target of 0.6 eventually ended up happening. Okay, so this was a move that already happened. Now interestingly, this kind of 50 moving average strikes are still happening, but if you look at the way the price is falling, so this is all happening after the market closed. So from 6:30 all the way till we are almost at 11:30 right now. So the last 5 hours, look at the way JPY INR has fallen. Okay, so definitely huge gap down can be expected tomorrow, and let's see what happens. Unless something happens, overnight between 12 and 8, this kind of fall is not going to be sustained. Like, it's not going to recover anytime soon, right? So there is definitely going to be a gap down, and all these bulls are going to be trapped. Okay, so all the bulls here in this zone, and in this zone, they are all going to be trapped with tomorrow's gap down. So it should be interesting to watch what happens tomorrow. okay, on JPY. Next, let's look at euro. So euro again, was following in this kind of channel, and today from the morning itself there was sort of an heavy offer, and the price kept falling, and sort of broke this line. Okay, and now we closed below this. If you look at the euro on the 15-minute chart, this is where we are. Okay, so this was the morning print for the first 15 minutes, and then after that 10 o'clock, 10:15 is when the price started to fall and just continued to fall all the way till 1 p.m. Okay, after 1 p.m. probably European markets open and some kind of bid was taken. But if we look at this, all right, so this was essentially this whole thing. The whole market closed somewhere around here. Okay, let me scroll it to the hourly chart. So yeah, so this is where our market closed, okay, at 5 p.m. and even euro has fallen sharply since then. Okay, so now we are already below this whole consolidation zone, and even we are at this previous head and shoulders. We are again back to these lows. Okay, so now where the price goes from here, again the game plan would be to look for some kind of retracement either here or in this zone. Okay, for to go short on this. Mind you, this is also the psychological 80 level. So previously the price breached below this, reached to 79.7 as a low, but then went up. Okay, so now let's see what happens this time, if there is some kind of bid, or else if the price keeps falling. Let's take a look at the fourth one, which is the pound. And this is where I was kind of invested in. Okay, so I'd taken a long position here yesterday with the idea that the price will reach one of these zones. Okay, this one or this one, because it was a very good long trade. Okay, there was a 50 on the hourly chart, plus there's this kind of channel. Okay, but then all of that sort of broke down at this again 10 p.m. 10 a.m. Time frame. Okay, so the same thing that happened in euro essentially happened in pound as well, and this one also fell all the way till again 130, and finally it formed some kind of consolidation, lower VIX, and the price started to come back. Okay, so until then it was a continuous fall, and so this is is my entry, my exit. Sort of stop loss got triggered, and got exited from the market with a loss in this position. Now where the price goes again, very difficult to assess, especially considering the overnight price. Okay, so this is where we if I look at the 5:30, yeah, so this is where we are, 4:30, 5:30. Okay, this is where we close at 5 p.m. and right now we are definitely below that zone. So 95.95 and 95.75 is where we are. Okay, so let's see what kind of gap down business comes in this, and whether we follow below this and then take some consolidation or something, or maybe this 200 on the 4-hour chart takes support or something like that. Okay, whatever the case may be, I think this bullish thesis is now rejected. Okay, and now again very difficult to say. Again, the bearish price action can take it all the way till 95.02. Okay, so this is definitely possible, but then how the path is going to proceed, it's very difficult to say. So these are the INR pairs. Let's take a look at the dollar index, DXY. So this is essentially what happened in the DX. So basically whatever is happening since evening today, okay, it's all because of the big bid that has come in DXY. All right, so it's a very big squeeze that's happening. Look at this. Okay, the way the dollar is being bought. This is the hourly chart. So in fact, from 11:30 a.m. onwards, the overall dollar bid began, and it's still continuing at 11:30 p.m. The last 12 hours is continuous buying in the US dollar that's happening, and that is essentially jacking the hammering all the other currency pairs. Okay, so euro INR, pound INR, yen INR, all of them are essentially falling against the US dollar, as we will shortly see. So if you look at this one, okay, so the euro touched these highs and then has been falling again since 10:30 a.m., which is the same time when the euro INR also started falling. Okay, so on an individual day-to-day basis, the price action is pretty much similar. So this thesis of bullish is pretty much invalidated. We can take this off. Okay, now let's see what happens as the price continues. Okay, so now we are somewhere here. In fact, if we look at the DXY, it's also interesting if I remove everything. Okay, so we have taken this sort of a retracement back towards the 200 on the 4-hour chart, plus the 50 is also coming in. Okay, so if there is some kind of a cross here, we can expect the price to go further down. Okay, in fact, this can be considered as a healthy retracement, which again, interestingly, also happens to happen at a wedge, this kind of a wedge. Okay, so this wedge happened. There is a big squeeze on the upward side, and now we are at this zone. Okay, again back to 106.3 zone. So this is the retracement that we were looking for. Now, if there is a rejection here, it would be a very clear signal to go short on the dollar. Okay, so let's see what happens. I mean, this is an interesting trade, and this would be something that I would definitely be looking out for tomorrow. That if we do find rejection at this zone, okay, because this is a very typical zone. There is a wedge, there is a complete short squeeze. All these shorts got squeezed. Okay, they take these stops at 106.2, 106.2. So these stops are taken. Now if there is a rejection, the price will definitely start going in the downward side. And there's a very high probability for that. Okay, and I can show you what happened in the just last week. Okay, so the same thing. If there is a wedge, the price fell sharply. Okay, it took out all of these longs got trapped. Okay, it took out all of these stops, and then the price reversed. Okay, this was Nifty 50, SGX Nifty futures. Okay, and then the price went up really sharp. Can the same thing happen in the dollar index on the opposite side as well? Okay, that's the question. So let's see if we do see some kind of a reversal, I would not hesitate in going short on the US dollar, on the dollar index, basically US dollar, essentially buying Euro USD, or mainly buying the Euro USD pair. Okay, so let's see what happens tomorrow. Let's take a look at the Euro USD. So we have already seen this. All right, so Euro USD took as now back to this this zone, this kind of support zone, and yeah, so let's see whether we see some kind of a bid, or if it's a break and then again break down all the way till 1, because if it breaks down, then this is also possible. Pound. Okay, so mind you, pound is still in this head and shoulder zone. Okay, and basically we are so there is this move, and then there is a fall. Okay, so the target of 1.233 is still remaining until such a time that we see a lower low on this. Okay, if we see a lower low, then definitely we can say that this head and shoulders is invalidated. Until the time we see this lower low, I think there is still a possibility that it will give you some kind of higher low. If we ignore this big wick, if we even take a look at this one. Okay, so if you take a look at these three lows, all right, 1.210, 8, 1.210, 8, 1.2, basically 1.2105 zone. Okay, so if the price breaches these, then we'll say this head and shoulders is invalidated, and now we can expect the price to fall. Okay, but until such a time as the price does not breach these lows, let me put an alert here for tomorrow. Okay, so if the price does not breach these lows, if it forms a higher low and continues going up, then the conclusion will be that the price is again going back towards this 1.233, which is the measured move target. Okay, and in fact, the way these moving averages are behaving looks like there is going to be an upward slide. So quite frankly, the way I see it, it looks like it's a squeeze in the dollar, and it's could be a fake move. Frankly, could actually be a fake move. Then you never know, but still, there is a possibility. Okay, you look at the USD yen, all right, on the same 4-hour time frame. It starts at 6:30, and the yen USD, there's a big bid in USD. The yen continues to fall from 6:30 all the way till 11:30. In fact, mind you, this is exactly the same thing. From 6:30 till 11:30, the yen continues to fall, both against the Indian rupee and against the US dollar. Okay, so the same thing is we can see in both of these pairs. Euro yen again. There is definitely same thing in euro yen also, from 6:30 onwards, right, till we are right now at 11:30. And pound yen, exactly same thing, 6:30 to 11:30. Okay, so for the last 5 hours, yen has been continuously falling against all essentially all major currency pairs. Okay, so now where does the yen go? Very hard to say. This kind of basically, it's a selling which is happening across all markets, all right? So we cannot say for sure where the yen is expected to go from here. Let's look at the Bitcoin. So Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart, it's sort of coming back down and taking some kind of support here at this 50 line, 50 moving average. Okay, now there is no, it's basically trading in this zone, so there's nothing much on the 4-hour chart. We cannot say for sure where the price will go. and on the 15-minute, we may be able to identify some trades, but definitely nothing here, okay, on this 4-hour time frame. Let's take a look at the crude. So crude oil, we saw this kind of fall yesterday, and now the price got consolidated and expected to rise. Mind you, if this big candle is taken care of on the opposite side, meaning let's say these highs, this high of 97.45, okay, this is an interesting zone. So if this 97.45 is breached by, let's say, tomorrow morning, overnight, okay, then all these bears will be trapped, and then we can expect the price to go further up. Okay, so this kind of move will then be very much possible, a very sharp move all the way back to 100. Okay, 100.3. So this 97.45 is going to be an interesting zone. If this is breached, then all these bears essentially will be trapped, and then they'll start taking the stop losses of these bears one by one. Okay, starting from this high and then maybe going all the way till here. All right, so this is also an interesting zone to keep an eye on. Crude oil. Let's take a look at gold. So up until yesterday, we saw that gold was going smoothly. Okay, in fact, gold did cross the 200 moving average on the 4-hour, and then it took up, and then it went up further around in the afternoon today. But by evening, if you look at this, somewhere similar time, 6:30, 7:30, and so on, gold has also been falling. Okay, so whatever gains, so essentially the US dollar bid, okay, the fact that the US dollar started to go up, and the fact that euro started to go down, also led to a downward slide in gold as well. Okay, so this is your gold market. Let's take a look at S&P 500. So S&P 500, yeah, interestingly, so in the first hours of the day, okay, if you look at this, this was the sort of 7:30. First hours, there was a sharp up move. The next one, there's a sharp down move. Okay, and now we are here. So we don't know. I mean, this is very, very choppy price action. What we can see on the hourly chart, for example, is these kind of a bit of an high. Okay, and then this. So there is a bit of a consolidation that's happening. Okay, could be a flag and then breakout further up ahead. All right, very hard to say. Yeah, it's not very easy to predict this. Maybe the fact that the price is waiting for this moving average 50 to catch up. Okay, because that also happens a lot of times. The price, this 50 goes up from here, somewhere here, and then the price consolidates all the way, and then once the price touches 50, it's ready to go up further. Okay, that also happens a lot of times. Okay, so let's let's see what happens. I mean, right now it's kind of stuck in this zone. Okay, 41, 45 and 40, 87, this kind of, flag. And finally, let's take a look at the Nifty 50. So Nifty 50 futures. So now we are already too far away from the 50. Okay, and if you open the Nifty chart on the 75-minute. Okay, so yesterday we were discussing that there was this, kind of a measured move target of 17,300. Okay, and that was reached yesterday itself. All right. So I said, it won't make sense to buy now because all the move has already been taken, and today was kind of a choppy day. Okay, now so today is essentially a rest day that happened. Okay, if we look at the day chart looks kind of bullish, and it seems that the index is ready to touch the 17,700 highs. Okay, but again, it's not going to be very easy for the simple reason that this whole dollar consolidation can affect the index movement. So if the dollar USD continues to fall for tomorrow, then we can definitely expect some kind of breakout and then further up moves. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so basic idea is if the dollar continues to go up, then we can expect a breakout from here and further up move. Okay, but until such a time as that happens, again, I'm not very hopeful, and again here also we can expect some kind of price consolidation or correction till the time we are this 50 catches up. Okay, so that is also possible. The price may go sideways for a couple of days before they further decide the next course of action, up or down. Okay, so let's see. It's still not very clear. If you look at the Bank Nifty, it's all very like Bank Nifty is definitely bullish. There's no consolidation or sign of consolidation in Bank Nifty, but Nifty, to me, it's again, especially the way it has closed in the last 15 minutes. Okay, it's not very clear whether there is a direct buying opportunity right now. So that's it. This is all that we want to discuss today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, have a good night. Bye bye.